Trapmore gang, I recently did a video about one of the most notorious killers in Chicago who has apparently been rumored to have had two of his close friends lined up for playing both sides of the gang war. This was the video that I did, 051 Melly exposed for murdering two of his own friends. Now, if you know the channel, you'll know that I did a whole documentary on 051 Melly. Okay, on the main channel, I did a video called The Many Murders of 051 Melly, and essentially this documents a number of murders that Melly's been involved in, allegedly a higher body count than King Von, and this is somebody who is very much feared in the Chicago culture. But would you believe it if I told you that King Von himself, despite many of Melly's biggest ops actually respecting him, I broke down in a previous video THF Bezu and Melly having this crazy back and forth on IG Live and showing some respect to each other even despite the fact that they had allegedly literally killed each other's friends. Would you believe it if I told you that King Von was actually planning to line up 051 Melly? Now, it's hard to believe. Maybe it's not hard to believe, but apparently King Von was truly planning to backdoor 051 Melly, and I'm basically going to break down all of the history behind it. But before I do that, man, shout out to my guys at Senucci who just iced me out with some sexy little chains. Okay, this little rainbow joint I'm kind of rocking with, okay? You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't trying to come with no weird vibes, but like the little rainbow multicolored thing kind of giving me some, you know what I'm saying, giving me some flamboyant vibes, man. So shout out to my guys at Senucci. They ain't even paying me for this, but they just said, yo, let us send you a chain, and I actually want to show them some love. So I really appreciate it. But anyway, okay, all of this Melly lore, all right, is very crazy, okay? And the fact that King Von was apparently trying to line up Melly is a pretty wild piece of history in the Chicago gang scene. Now, the gang war in Chicago has been mainly defined by this gang war, okay? The BDs versus the GDs, the Black Disciples versus the Gangster Disciples, Black Disciples like King Von, Lil Durk, all of those guys that are famous for being involved in this gang war. And then you got FBG Duck on the GD side of the war, Ruger, his brother Brick. There's been, Wooski. The GDs did finally get let into the door eventually, but like the BDs really had all the motion in the rap game and would really kind of like causing a lot of problems for the GDs and making it very hard for them to operate. Now, ironically, some people might not know this, some people might not realize this. Despite being one of the biggest ops of many of the most famous GDs in Chicago, 051 Melly was actually a Black Disciple just like Lil Durk and King Von, even though he was rumored to have actually been one of the people that basically is responsible for the murder of Lil Durk's cousin Nuski. 051 Melly was actually a Black Disciple, but was also BDK. He was insane. He was insane BD. Look at this.
Say it again. He what? One of the most reckless BDs out here. I'm BDK, but he BDK. Hold on. Don't go nowhere. Weird tower shit. Hold on. No.
He's saying he BD, but he BDK. How crazy is that? I'm playing it again. I'm running it back.
Say it again. He what? One of the most reckless BDs out here. I'm BDK, but he BDK. Hold on. Don't go nowhere.
The most reckless BD out here, but he BDK, and they cracking the trays in the background. That's a diss. This is a BD hand sign. So if you bend your fingers, you cracking a tray, you dissing, you BDK, all right? And just for good measure, so nobody's offended by me doing no gang signs, all right? I'm going to just put you on game, okay? The pitchforks is the GD sign. You do it upside down, that's GDK, okay? The trays, the three, the gates, that's for the BDs. You crack and break your fingers, that's BDK, okay? So I'm not taking sides. I've done all the gang signs and the Ks just for good measure, okay? So you can't hate on me. But those are the signs if you didn't know. Now, Motor from Jaro City, this obviously is one of the people that 051 Melly has recently been accused of lining up, one of his friends from a set that's allied with his crew. But here's where it gets confusing because Motor from Jaro City is mainly a Gangster Disciple set. It's mainly a GD set. He was also a Black Disciple who built his reputation on being BDK or an insane BD. Okay, check this out.
Yeah, but Motor BD and he BDK. Especially the BDK movement. You know what I'm saying? We into it with dude now. He really turned his BDK up. So he be throwing up the trays and cracking the trays at the same time. That cracking the trays is a disrespectful gesture towards the Black Disciple, you know what I'm saying, organization. You know what I'm saying? Cracking the trays. You know what I'm saying? You basically disrespecting them. You know what I'm saying? You can't drop them like you would normally do to a other gang set. You could be able to drop it, but you can't drop it because they trays is still standing up. So you must crack them in order to, you know what I'm saying, destroy them. So, yeah, you know, Motor is BD and BDK. You know what I'm saying? It came to times that one time that we went to a BDK Friday. You know what I'm saying? We went to BDK Friday. Now BDK Friday was going on heavy after Lil JoJo got killed. You know what I'm saying? And it was going on back towards that way, towards the Inglewood way, Brick Squad way. You know what I'm saying? We go over there, we kick it, we chill. You know what I'm saying?
So apparently, according to FYBJ Main, there's a famous clip where he's talking about being in a club with Motor. And he said Motor throwing up the gates with one hand and then he cracking them with the other hand. He throwing BD and BDK at the same time. They call that an insane BD, and that is truly insane. But in the lead up to Jaro City, Motor and Side's death, they unfortunately lost their lives together. They had established a strong friendship and alliance with 051 Melly, as well as possibly the most infamous GD out of the city, FBG Duck. Look at this. Oh dear. So it is a fun fact for you. When a video is demonetized, it doesn't let you share the time code. So I had a video, usually I paste in the link and it's got the time code and it will start the video at the exact point I started it. But if the video is demonetized like that, it basically, when you click accept, it invalidates the time code. So suddenly it goes back to the beginning. That's a fun fact for you guys. So this is FBG Duck, Motor, Side, 051 Melly. They chilled, they locked in, they you know what I'm saying, they have smoking there's a little Newport that they smoking on. Hold on, all right, and they playing cards. They probably playing Texas. Hold on, and Newport they smoking on, okay. And if FBG Duck was here, you know he would have been bumping that young boy Massa for sure. But anyway, okay, Melly was especially close to Motor and Side, and he would regularly post them on his social media. All right, check this out.
Say, we got some new stains?
This nigga Motor slow as hell. You want me to do it for you, bro? Got you, bro. Come on, man. I got you, bro. He on that. Phone that is over with. Dumbass nigga lost the car. We don't even know what phone the car on. His ass a true idiot, bro. I'm hungry as hell.
So they was real homies, man. They was outside together. They was having fun, and just, it's so bizarre and chilling to actually even consider the fact that Melly would have actually murdered his own friends like this when they did. It's all good. It's all fun and games. They out here having fun. But in an interview with Truth Teller TV, Jaro City Fats would reveal that before King Von started claiming O-Block, he too was actually close with some Jaro City members. And it's crazy to think that, because they're saying he popped a FBG Butter. They're saying that he killed KI. FBG Butter's originally from Jaro. And Jaro got a big problem with the beat. Bro, it's crazy that even Von would be linked in with some of them. That's what Jaro said.
They make it seem like King Von was like a 63rd Slayer, okay? He was like the boogeyman of you guys. Did you feel him? Did y'all feel his presence out there, or was a lot of that internet kind of elapsed it?
Yeah, that's what the modern day internet do. They also made it look like KI was the opposition Slayer.
Okay, we getting into KI,
and I didn't see none of that firsthand. So like the internet go, he said Von the boogeyman.
Well, Von was on our side before he became a boogeyman. See, what the streets don't do, they don't give motherfuckers credit. You get credit where they do. He get crazy, but at the same time, you was a friend before you was a foe. Von really come from Killerwood, 78th. They're my boys. Recipes Nico, Von and CJ. You feel me? They came before a motherfucker went all the way in them gates. They was on that Eberhard and that Vernon and that same lines with everybody else. It took a fight with him and Joey for him to go all the way in that gate.
And I don't believe they could take that from people like without no homework and no recognition. I don't believe.
So they're saying that Von was cool. Von was from Killerwood originally. He was locked in with Jaro City members. Now, another member of Jaro City by the name of Payne would later discuss finding out about King Von and Motor's friendship while locked up in jail. Peep this.
Life goes on. I see Jaro City Motor sitting at the table with this nigga phone. I see Motor sitting at the table with this nigga, man, on phone them. Von, nigga, the next day, lunchtime, we eating burgers and fries. I'll never forget. Motor sitting at the table across from them. They sitting across from each other, kicking, laughing, having a good old time. It blew me. Look me, Motor, nigga. And that's one of the faces that was just on the collage for Dirk birthday bash on folks' grave, Motor, on folks. I slide on him like, folks, what the fuck? You sit at the table, keep what y'all talking about, man. You this ain't that, boy. We on they ass, boy. On any motherfucker ass. You tweaking. He, man, it ain't that. So, one of the BDs from, matter of fact, I just talked about this on Cam Capone. On 2 times, I just talked about this on Cam Capone, man. Shout out to Cam Capone, man. Shout out to my nigga Corporate Cartel. But yeah, man, one of the BDs from Brain Dead, that's where Motor originally from. I'll give y'all the story on Jaro City Motor, man. Make sure y'all tap in, man. Hit that subscribe button. But on folks in them grave, I'm hollering at Jaro City Motor, telling him, like, man, you tweaking, woo. Nigga from Brain Dead, nigga named Trey. He got hazel eyes. He over here is talking. Man, get on that. Like, nigga, why you talking about? Because I'm talking about Vaughn to him. Like, why the fuck, nigga, we on them niggas' ass? Why you sneak this on folks? Nigga, folks right next door, you ain't on what? Man, get your bitch ass out of here, nigga. And I'm BDK, fuck King David. I go like that on him. And I beat you. What's up? You can't win against me. What's up? He freeze up. He ain't do shit.
So basically, right, King Von apparently was close with Motor, and they're basically saying, yo, like, we really BDK. We're trying to kill Von. We're on his ass, and he on our ass. How are you friends with this guy? This is going to create a backdoor situation, and a lot of people feel like King Von was trying to backdoor Melly. He was going to use that friendship with Motor to kind of get the drop and get Melly out the way, especially with his friendship with Lil Durk. Everything that happened with Newski, locked in with Bezu as well, and they saying Bezu's stepson got killed by 051 Melly or someone around him. So Von was a smart dude. He was trying to backdoor folks, right? And what's even more crazy is that Jaro City Pain would later explain that before Motor and Side were killed, okay, Motor's friendship with King Von would cause some tension, and at some point Motor out of nowhere would suddenly stop claiming BDK. And quite frankly, it's crazy to say it, but it sounds like Melly might have actually killed Motor and Side and got him out the way because he was thinking he couldn't trust them. He was thinking they were friends with King Von, they were no longer BDK, and that they basically might have been the weak links to line Melly up, given the drop to King Von, and he had to take his own friends out to prevent that happening. Isn't this the craziest outcome you could imagine? Look at this last clip.
That's how I met Kiddo, because of Motor. You know what I'm saying? So he was tied in with 051 hard. He was tied in with 051 hard. And him and Von was tight too. Him and Von, out of everybody on that side, you know what I'm saying? Von fucked with Motor. They fucked with each other. You know what I'm saying? That's how that happened down there when we was in, you know what I'm saying, Vienna. How me and him ended up bumping heads, you know what I'm saying? Because they was kicking it and chilling and talking, you know what I'm saying? And I took offense to that, hell yeah. You know what I'm saying? But when Motor started really like kicking it with 051 and started like locking in with them, going down there with them and kicking it with them, you start to see a change in them too. You know what I'm saying? And it was just different. It wasn't the same. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't the same when we was on the block. We used to kick it with Twink and kick it with Dome, and you know what I'm saying? It was different. It wasn't even the same when he used to be like for the BDK Fridays, like, cause Motor had it for BDK Friday. Like he like the coordinator of the shit. Like he know where it's gonna be at what time, all that before everybody. You know what I'm saying? Before everybody. So this was before this time, all that. Like Motor you just seen a change in Motor, but it never was a change like a bad change. It was more like a street change. He's starting to get more aware of what's really going on and how to really move. You know what I'm saying? And I just hate that him or Marcus didn't really pay attention to, because that was Marcus' second chance at life, folks. On some real shit. First time, you know what I'm saying? He got shot in the head with TB over there in EJ City in somebody else's hood. You know what I'm saying? Now this time he didn't make it out with Marcus. With Motor, I mean. Side didn't make it out. I just wish that them understood who they was and what type of valuable players they was, and you know what I'm saying, what team they was on. You know what I'm saying? if they would have moved better, thought better, and never been on 51st, man, they'd still be alive right now to this day, man. Motor and Marcus, man. They'll still be alive to this day, man. If they weren't over there fucking with 51st, man. I don't know what it is with 51st, man, but it's like 51st got a curse, man.
So he basically saying, all right, them not knowing what sides they was on, playing different sides, not being straight up about their position in the gang war, having friendship with King Von, not being fully BDK when Melly was BDK and messing with 51st, even though they're from Jaro City, which really was King Von's ops, but he was using them. That's what got them set up. And all of this lines up with the report that recently came out that I covered in the previous video that basically explained why this happened with Melly. Okay, and I'm going to read this to you again before I close out this video just to give you the full context, okay? This is basically an interview with an informant who explained that Redacted begun to hang out with his Redacted along with Melly and a guy named Redacted related that evening to the homicides of Morris and Clark. Who knows if King Von was involved? King Von could have been one of these names. He begun to hang out with Melly and a guy named King Von related to the... That could be that. All right? Who knows? They said he was at an acquaintance named somebody's residence at 39th and Lake Park. Redacted. Melly, who goes by the nickname of Melly, stated, I caught him for playing both sides. I didn't even have to get out the car. I shot him from the window and the car ran into barbars. Mother effer couldn't drive. Redacted. Yarmo was demonstrating with his hands how he was shooting out of the car window. Redacted that the car was a Chrysler 300 with tints and very distinct rims. Redacted related that Yarmo would joke with Redacted saying, anyone want a barber's sandwich? Detective administered a photo lineup to the witness, Area 1 witness room. The witness, circle position 1, who is Melly, stamped it. The detective entered the witness room after the photo lineup and handed Redacted a still photo of Melly. Redacted related that was Melly. Then Redacted signed the photo identifying Melly as Melly, the man who shot and killed both victims. RD handed Redacted 2 still photos of victims Morris and Clark, related that he knew Motor, who was the victim, Wilbert Morris. Redacted signed the photo identifying victim Morris. Redacted related that he did not know victim Redacted, but he does believe he'd seen him around before but wasn't certain. Detectives learned Melly himself was a victim of a homicide on the 1st of September 2019 due to the positive ID of Melly as the lone offender that shot and killed Wilbert Morris and Marcus Clark Motor inside. But Williams' death precluded him from being arrested and charged. They request the case be exceptionally cleared and closed. Case closed. It really might have been the case that friendship with King Von got Motor inside set up and killed by their own homie, Melly. He said they wasn't BDK enough, man. How crazy is that? So let me know what you guys think down below, man. I feel like this is a crazy story. This adds a whole other very chilling dimension to an already very complicated and messed up scenario with Melly, Von, the BDs, the GDs, all of the beef, the BDs that are BDK is crazy. Okay, but let me know what you think down in the comments. Is this too far-fetched? Is this too wild of a theory? I honestly could absolutely believe it. And everybody knew King Von was a problem. This was 2019. This was when Von was starting to take off with a rapping. I could see Melly even doing that out of pride and thinking, yo, you friends with a guy that's already having motion right now, bro. We got to put a stop to all this. It's very unfortunate, man. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. I'm low-key admiring my little Senucci chain in the camera. It's kind of lit. All little diamonds. I need to get my lights blasting a little bit brighter so these bitches can start twinkling. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, man. I appreciate it. I'll be back in the next video. Thank you so much for showing love and tapping in with me. I've got some very good content coming. Appreciate you guys, and I'm out here, gang. Peace out.